What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast. We're talking about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers. Those people of color have made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shan Tynes.
What's up?
What's going on? So welcome to Tuesday's episode. So Monday and Tuesday are our topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursday's Ask a CISSP. I swear I have one to put up, and I'm recording another one tomorrow. So I'm going to have more in the future. And then Friday's everything else, movies, books, games, all that cool stuff. But without further ado, I give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. This article comes from the NewYorkTimes.com, right? And it's written by Adam Satariano, excuse me. And the title of this one is TikTok finds 600 million for sending European user data to China. So we already know that the EU is very big on data privacy, right? Like it's something that they do not play around with, right? So you got the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR is what they have over there. And they have I believe it's 8 pillars. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, Ryan. I know you're better at this than I am. I think it's 8 pillars they have for data privacy that they use. Is that accurate? I think we're both gonna say 8. We're gonna say 8. But yeah, they're very big about it. And apparently what happened is TikTok, there was some information that got out and it made its way into China, right? So it's one of those things where they're like, hey, you didn't protect it like you said you would, right? Like this information is not supposed to be out to other outside of the user's control and you controlling it for anyone else to see. And that apparently didn't happen. So there was an Irish court, right? So the Irish Data Protection Commission is the one that announced the penalty because the TikTok headquarters is actually in Ireland, right? The EU headquarters.
That I did not know. That was a surprise to me. And it's seven main principles.
7. I'm sorry. I upped it by 1. So 7 main principles. We were close. I was close. I say I was close. I was wrong. So yeah, 7 main principles. One of them is you have to make sure that data, is not shared without the user's consent, right? And that didn't happen here. So, they came down on them. 600 million. That is nothing to laugh at. I know sometimes we see these fines where it's like, oh, they're going to laugh at that. It's whatever, right? TikTok is huge, right? They have 100 and some odd million people. I can't remember the number off the top of my head. They have 100 and some odd million people in the EU that are using TikTok. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of opportunity to have a lot of user data get out there. So yeah, this is a kick in the nards for them, right? 600 million, because honestly, like it's one of those things that's free, right? So yeah, they get money through advertising, right? But 600 million for TikTok to come across, I don't know how they're doing that. And yes, I realize you get the ad revenue and things like that, as with all social media, right? With your YouTubes and Facebook.
And selling people's data.
And but they can't do it though. That's the thing. They can't do it for the EU, right? So like if you're gonna do $600 million, you have that block of people, that 100 and some odd million people that you're not going to be able to do that to if you operate there, right? Like, am I misunderstanding the principle of the GDPR? Maybe. You can sell people's data in America, yeah, right? Like we don't have that, right? China might not have that, other countries, but you got a block of 100 and some odd million people that you can't do it for. But
which is it's not dropping the bucket. But did you know that 1.04 billion with a B people use TikTok?
Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. And when we did, I know we talked about it before. What is it, like $12 a person or something like that if you sell the data?
That was Facebook like 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So who knows now?
What it is now?
Yeah.
Gosh, this is crazy. But ByteDance, man, like they're and here's the thing. Don't forget that they're going through the whole, the United States is trying to make them sell the platform to a non-Chinese company, right? So like they're going through that whole thing. They got to do that or they're going to be banned in the United States. So the however many hundreds of millions of users they may have in the United States, I mean, that's at risk as well, right? So even with 1 point whatever billion users, 600 million, that's a lot, right? And so, and when you talk about the EU, you're talking about a 27 nation block, right? That they have to protect this data. So ByteDance is going to fight it, right? They're going to appeal it, right? But like they already admitted that some of that information made its way into China, right? So if you already admitted you didn't protect it like the GDPR tells you to, how are you going to get out of this? Like you can appeal it, do whatever you want to do, but even if it goes down, I don't see it going down that much from the 600 million, right? Because you violated what the EU says you shouldn't. Ryan, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so they really violated. I'm trying to see which principle it's nested under, but it would be the cross-border data transfer. is what they violated. So it says under European GDPR regulation, the GDPR intends to ensure that the transfer of such personal information from the European Union to controllers and processors in third countries, defined as any country outside of the European Economic Area (EEA), don't undermine the level of protection of the individuals concerned. So I think that's what's it called? Legalese. There you go. For you basically you can't send data to some place that doesn't have the same provisions or protections as the GDPR. So there's only so many countries that do it, right? Obviously, anyone in the European Economic Area, and then you have like the U.S., the few others, because we have our you have GDPR, PIPL, and CCPA, which all have the same cross-border data transfer protections. I guess China's just not on that list. It says, uh, or no, so it says, can employers in China store their Chinese employees' personal information on databases hosted by foreign jurisdictions? So they do have a provision for their own people.
For
So
Chinese people. So to back up to what you said, you're saying the United States does actually have that provision as well?
to a certain
Because it's definitely not
certain
being.
extent, I think it's because we use GDPR over here as well, as opposed to building our own law. We use their provision. So China's is PIPL, so the People's Republic of China's Personal Information Protection Law is their version of it, and then the one in the U.S. is the California Consumer Privacy Act, the CCPA.
But just for California, though.
Well, then it bleeds over, right? Just like European people, if you have if you have a person who is protected under GDPR's information, then you're subject to European law. Same thing with China with their PIPL, and then same thing with California. So in the States, if you have anybody who's from California or a citizen of California, you have to protect their data under certain provisions. So I think it's just bleed over, like we just get caught up in that, not the Chinese part. Because I don't know if we have people of a lot of people's data being pulled. Maybe Meta, right? Like Meta might fall into that category for whatever limited Facebook activities they have over there. But I know they have their own stuff, right? Like WeChat and a bunch of other things. So there's I would have to look more into because I really don't know much about China's data protection laws. I just have not looked into them. But um,
That is interesting. So like you mentioned California. Like I saw something recently. I want to say it was California became the fourth largest economy in the world. The state of California.
what?
Could swear that's what it said when I saw it. I was like, wow, yeah, because they passed Japan. I think it was.
Wow, because yeah, Japan was number two, and then I think they slid to three. I
They
think.
probably went down
Yeah.
farther than that if they went to four.
So you say
I thought that's
The state of California.
yeah.
That is wild. I did not know that. And people talk about how insolvent California is. Apparently, it's not. You know what I mean? To be economic powerhouse like that. So
As of,
if
as of April 2025, California has officially become the fourth largest economy in the world, surpassing Japan. Its nominal GDP reached 4.1 trillion, placing it behind the United States, China, and Germany.
I don't even know what to say about that. Like one of our states is in the top five. So you have our country is I assume number one, right? And now one of our states has also cracked the top five.
How do they do the math on that? So that fourth largest is in for the United States, right? It falls under the United States. That's kind of double trickery with the
Yeah,
economics,
we're
right?
double dipping. That's it. Unless the U.S. is only the like they only calculate the other 49 states, but I doubt it. They probably calculate that one as well. But yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. So way to go, California, I guess. But I guess that makes sense for the provisions as well, right? Because you get a lot of laws that are now coming out of obviously New York, Texas, and California. They do pass a lot of privacy laws that impact us all. And there's a few other states that are also passing. I think Colorado is up there now, right? You guys have some privacy laws that are now becoming, I don't want to say pervasive because that has a negative connotation, but they are ushering us all to a certain state of data privacy and protection, right? As each state comes online. I really wish, because I get it, like if each state does it, then they are protecting their citizenship, but I think it becomes kind of murky as opposed to just saying here is the US's law to protect, but states' rights. So don't tread on me. All the other sayings, right? I'm not trying to knock anybody's yum in this case, but how did we get here? Let's go back.
We're talking about GDPR, right? And
There it is.
how it
Yeah.
applies to
So
data. Yeah.
yeah, and how they're being sued for 600 million, which they probably make every day. because it's 1 billion people they service.
That's crazy to me though. Like even with that, like it has to go with advertising. Like 600 million again, that's a lot of money, and they are a big company. But man, it's just it still seems like it would make them take pause a little bit, right? And also it is in conjunction with the U.S. still trying to make them offload the company to a non-Chinese owner, right? So
Right, which they literally just they're under litigation now because there was a I forget what you call it when you get a bunch of buyers together to buy something, kind of like what they do with teams. They get a bunch of people together to purchase something. They're basically saying that ByteDance is playing games and not trying to actually come to the table to make this happen because there are a bunch of people who do want to purchase, I guess, the U.S. rights, so to speak.
so it's probably an ownership group like that's going forward trying to do it. But I'm trying to remember who the big one was. I saw it was a few weeks back, probably about a month or so back now. There was a big group that was like, "Yeah, we'll take it," and then I saw nothing else from it. But it was a big company. I want to say it was like Cisco or something like that. Somebody major.
Yeah, I know Mr. Beast was trying to get at it too. That dude
Oh,
makes crazy
really?
crazy loot. Yeah.
He got money like that? I don't know about that.
He does. Like just candy bars alone make like $50 million.
You know what's crazy is we just bought some of those from Sam's Club. It's wild. Like my son was like,
What do they
"Hey,
got
I'm
like beast bars or something like that? What are they
yeah,
called?
yeah."
That right there makes me not want to buy it. I don't want a beast bar.
My wife said my youngest son added it to the grocery list, and I was like, "Really?" I was like, "I never even heard of this." She was like, "Yeah, he wants the." It was a selection of three different ones, but she was like, "He wants the peanut butter." So I was like, "All right, we'll get him." And if he just eats all the peanut butter, it's what it is. We'll try the rest.
I became very evangelical. I'd have put a Bible out the a beast bar. You would bring that to my house? They're like, where'd you find that Bible at? I keep it here just in case. It's like inviting vampires in the house. No, thank you. Beast bars, get out of here. So it says, as of 2024, Tai's global revenue was estimated between 23 billion and 26 billion. And this translates to an average daily revenue of approximately 63 million to 71 million. So they make almost let's say let's say 70. They make $70 million a day.
I was not tracking that.
We learned a lot in this conversation. But yeah, so more to come of this. If this is just the the first case of this, because they literally said when being questioned on Capitol Hill that we do not transfer any data to China, and now uh, the GDPR has kicked in and said you absolutely do transfer data to China, and here's a $600 million fine because of it. So I would assume that this will become a bigger issue because again you have all these different data privacy kind of pillars, right? So if the people in charge of GDPR are suing, then what about CCPA, right? California should also kick in because there should be evidence to the fact saying that you did transfer this data. So you think that there would be a mechanism that would cause more fines and things of that nature. So, or I don't know, maybe you can't double dip. Maybe if Europe caught it first, then California can't jump on the bandwagon. I don't know.
I doubt that's the case, right? Like, because then at that point, just make one international law, right? Like, just get other countries to jump onto it and make the fine more hefty, right? Like, if you're gonna say,
Right.
"Hey, because I'm already being sued here, I can't be sued here." So, what do they call it? Double indemnity is what it is, where you can't be getting sued twice for the same thing civilly. I want to
I
say,
don't know. I know double jeopardy. You can't. That was OJ. That's the only reason I know that one.
yeah, I think it's called double indemnity is what it is, where you can't get sued while you're being sued.
Gotcha. Like it's what you have when you don't have two lawyers on the podcast. All we left the audience with was questions. Yeah, that's what you have now. But you also know that California is the world's fourth largest economy now. So there, take that. You learned something new. Unless you're in California and you already knew that. So, but definitely continue to check us out. So again, Monday, Tuesday our topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CISSP, Fridays everything else, movies, books, games, all that cool stuff. You can find us at the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or Ask a CISSP. You can also go to ramcyber.io. That's our landing page. So you can actually I set it up now. You can go there and click on the watch link and the listen link. So that way you can go straight to the podcast. Hit me up. I'm at Ry Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me pretty much everywhere, but LinkedIn is where I'm most active. Stay safe. Stay secure.